Here's a little diagram that explains actually several pretty helpful concepts here. So the idea is we've got three different colors that you need to be aware of. We've got red is sugar or carbohydrates, orange is fat, and the black is lean muscle. So if we look at this example right here, so we've got the black here is the cup. So that's the muscle that's actually creates our structure, our support, and things like that. So it's the cup, and it determines basically our metabolism. So this cup to the full is actually your metabolism. How much if you eat up to that level of the cup there, you're at a calorie balance there. So now we all have a little bit of fat, so we got a little orange stuff collecting on the sides of the cup there. So we try to get that as small as possible, obviously, but there's a certain amount of fat that's essential. And down here, this is the carbs that you're eating here. So one of the concepts here to be aware of is that if you are eating, no carbs, or basically 30 grams or less, it's almost no carbs. Is that actually it starts to take away from the muscle. It starts to eat away at the muscle, and basically you end up with a smaller cup. So it takes this many calories to keep you going right now, but then if you go into like a starvation diet, your amount of calories to keep you going actually decreases. Your body becomes more efficient and shuts down things, and now your metabolism is down here. So now you you can maintain your weight at eating a very small amount of calories, which really stinks. That is no fun. So you don't want to end up there. So we don't want to go too far that this gets out of control. We also don't want to be up here with the high carb where your cup runneth over here. So if you're eating too many calories and too many carbohydrates, it's going to spill over and it's going to collect right here on the side. And those love handles, things like that, and the hips, all that good stuff. So I'm going to try to avoid this scenario too. So we don't want to be here, and we definitely don't want to be there. What we want to try to shoot for is maybe somewhere in the middle. So this is kind of like a low carb. So some of the challenge with low carb, not super low, but just still being kind of low, is that you might have a little bit lower energy. There's a study there that they took two groups of gorillas and fed one group 30% fewer calories, and that group actually didn't lose any weight. They actually just moved around less. So sometimes when we cut our calories back and our carbohydrates, we might have low energy, we might move less, and then we still don't end up losing weight. Also with low carb, we end up having higher cravings. Now we have some other ideas for compensating against that that we can show you in a different video. Here we got a little bit higher carbohydrate here, and this is going to be kind of like more ideal for the typical person there. And in some cases, we got the moderate to high for an athlete. So they're going to have a lot higher carbohydrate, but that they're also doing, 2 to 3 hours of cardiovascular exercise a day. So this is somebody training for a marathon or a long cycling event or something like that. So most of us are going to be balancing between moderate carbs and low carbs. Now what we do in our program is we try to get people to maybe eat a little bit more on the low carb for a few days, and then have a day where they hit ideal carbs. They hit a little bit higher there. So if you can bounce between those a little bit, you can get it working there. Sometimes maybe you can hit here and go to there a little bit. Depends on the person. So this can be a really great strategy. Right in here, like this area, actually really like this one is where the Atkins diet and things like that is. So they end up shrinking down. So you'll have some people that go on the Atkins diet and they get whatever, they get the 3 to 4 weeks or something like that of really awesome. They start dropping really well. But then what happens is the cup shrinks, and their results start to slow down. So they were eating, that they were eating this much and they're starting to lose. But now eating this much, the whole cup actually shrinks down, and now they're not losing anymore, and they're still starving themselves. And so this can get really frustrating. So could you imagine eating that small, not getting any results there? They get frustrated and stuff like that, and they may snap back, and then they may overeat, and they go on this high carb binge or something, and then that completely undoes it. And actually they start gaining weight faster because the cup is now smaller, but they're still throwing as much food in there, and so now it's running over big time into the fat storage there. So we definitely don't want to create a situation like that. What we're looking for is, again, that moderation. So we want to avoid starvation and binging. We want to get into just a little bit of maintenance here. Now this is the whole thing is pretty helpful, but the most important thing that you need to have under control before you even start playing around with this is that you're actually keeping track of your calories first. So if you are not doing a great job at measuring things, weighing things, and those kind of things, this doesn't even matter. this whole talk, this whole presentation doesn't matter at all. Get that figured out first, and then you're going to start being able to get a little more fancy with some of these strategies also. So I hope this was helpful. This is Jeremy being at the Tall Trainer saying have fun and be safe.